If you think Prairie Springs is just another part of Airdrie, you could miss one of the smarter places to buy in this city. Some neighborhoods look good on paper. Prairie Springs gives buyers something better than hype. It gives them practical value, strong family appeal, and daily convenience that actually holds up after moving in. Tell me which city you are watching from today. Put it in the comments because I always like to see where people are watching from. When people start looking at homes in Airdrie, they usually focus on price first. Then they'll look at square footage, garage size, and maybe whether the kitchen looks modern enough. But smart buyers know that the bigger question is this: what is life going to feel like here after the excitement of buying wears off? That is where Prairie Springs starts to stand out. Prairie Springs is in southwest Airdrie, and one of its biggest advantages is what sits right beside it. Chinook Winds Regional Park is a major lifestyle feature for this area, not some tiny patch of grass with a bench and one lonely slide. The park includes more than 2 kilometers of paved pathways, playgrounds, a spray park, outdoor rink in the winter, volleyball courts, and a baseball diamonds. That matters more than people think. A lot of buyers say they want a family-friendly neighborhood. Fine. But what does that really mean? It means your kids have somewhere to burn off energy. It means you can walk a bike or get outside without always loading everyone into the car. It means there is something close by that helps make daily life easier and a little more fun. Prairie Springs gives you that. This is the kind of area where buyers often feel comfortable because it has the suburban balance people want. You get residential streets, homes built for family living, access to green space, and quick access to recreation without feeling like you were buried in the middle of nowhere. For many people, that is the sweet spot. And let's be honest, some communities sound amazing when an ad is selling them. Then you move in and realize the great outdoor lifestyle was one walking path and a pond with 2 ducks. Prairie Springs is different because the nearby park and pathway systems are real, usable features. Airdrie says the city has about 137 kilometers of asphalt pathways and 37 kilometers of concrete sidewalk. And this part of town benefits from the connected outdoor network. That is not fluff, that is livability. Another thing buyers should think about is who this neighborhood really fits. Prairie Springs works well for families' first-time move-up, buyers and people who want a community that feels active. If you like the idea of stepping outside and having room to walk, push a stroller, or head over to major park without making a big production, this area starts to make a lot of sense. It also helps that the neighborhood is close to other established parts of West and Southwest Airdrie. So you are not buying into some isolated pocket where you feel cut off from the rest of the city. That matters because convenience is not just about what is inside the neighborhood. It is also about how easy the neighborhood connects to bigger daily routine of life. Now let me give you the part many buyers need to hear. Prairie Springs is not for everyone. If you want an older community with large mature trees and that long established feel, you may find Prairie Springs a little more modern and planned out than you like. If you are chasing a luxury estate feels, this is probably not your lane either. And if your goal is to find the cheapest possible home in Airdrie, you should not shop with blinders on and assume every house here will automatically be a bargain. That would be lazy thinking. The smart way to look at Prairie Springs is not just price, it's value. There is a difference. Price is what you pay. Value is what you live with every day after you buy. That is why location inside a city matters. A house can be nice, but if the area around it makes your life harder, that nice house starts losing its shine fast. On another hand, when you buy into a neighborhood with a park access, pathways, recreation, and solid family appeal, you are buying more than walls and a roof. You are buying a better everyday experience. That is what Prairie Springs offers. Schools also matter to buyers even if they do not have kids right now. Areas are attractive to families tend to stay in demand because family buyers are always a major part of that market. The city of Airdrie points buyers to local schools, systems, and the Rocky View schools list nearby options in Airdrie such as Windsong Heights School, the W.H. Croxford High School. Boundaries can change. Buyers should always verify schools, destinations directly before making a purchase. And that last part is important. Never buy based on what somebody thinks the school plan is. Too many buyers make assumptions, and assumptions can cost you later. Another reason Prairie Springs gets attention is recreational pull. Chinook Winds is not a minor feature. It has 8 ball diamonds, which tells you right away this park is a serious part of the community, not an afterthought. In the summer, the spray park becomes a big plus for families. In the winter, the outdoor rink helps keep the arena active year-round. That kind of 4 seasons is a big deal in Airdrie. A neighborhood feels stronger when it gives people reasons to stay connected all year. That helps the community feel lived in, not just occupied. Now let's talk about buyer psychology. When buyers look at Prairie Springs, they are often comparing it to other Airdrie communities that have family appeal. So a job is not to ask whether Prairie Springs is perfect. No, the community is. The real question is whether Prairie Springs fits your lifestyle better than the other options in pricing range. That is a smarter question because some buyers get trapped trying to find the perfect neighborhood. That is fantasy. What you really want is the right trade-off. You want the community that gives you the most of what matters to you while cutting down the problems you know will annoy you later. Prairie Springs does a good job on the front. It gives many buyers a strong mix of recreation family appeal, movement, and access to kind of outdoor features that makes neighborhood easier to enjoy. That is why it keeps landing on people's shortlist. And there is something else. Neighborhoods that feel simple to live in often outperform neighborhoods that only look impressive in photos. Prairie Springs is not trying to be flashy, it's trying to work. In real life, that usually wins because real estate is not just about day you buy. It's about how you feel there 6 months later, 1 year later, 5 years later. Can you still say the area makes sense for your life? Can you still say the location helps more than it hurts? Can you still see why buyers keep looking there? With Prairie Springs, a lot of people can answer yes. So if you are looking at Airdrie and you want a neighborhood with strong recreational access, practical family value, and a setting that feels useful in everyday life, Prairie Springs deserves a serious look, not a quick look, a serious one, because this is where buyers can make a smart move without chasing hype, and that matters in every market. I'm Kevin Baldwin, and when I talk about communities, I do not just care about how they look on a listing sheet. I care about how they work with real people, living real lives. That is the difference between buying emotionally and buying intentionally. So before you buy in Airdrie, make sure you are not just buying a house. Make sure you are buying the right neighborhood for the life you actually live. If you're thinking about moving to Airdrie or you want your help figuring out whether Prairie Springs is the right fit for you, reach out. I'd rather tell you the truth now and let you make the wrong move and regret it later. And before you go, rate this neighborhood from 0 to 10 in the comments. Will your realtor know these details or will they choose not to tell you? The right houses in the wrong area can become a problem fast, but the right neighborhood can improve your life for years. Leave a comment so we can keep the conversation going.